Today, my people, I just wanted to have a quick video today. I always say that, and it always never ends well when I start like that. So I'm not going to jinx it. I'm just going to say today we're going to have a video about some ideas of where to network or how to network. I know I've been talking quite a lot about networking lately. Few videos about networking, and a few interviews about networking. So I know some people are wondering, okay, fine, it's all well and good, but how do I do this? I think the first thing is to remove the pressure from yourself. Networking does not necessarily mean um, going to a place where you have to spend money or things like that. I think one of the things that people assume is to network, you need to get to a place where there is the people that you need. Now, there are so many. If you're invited to a wedding, you can network. If you're someone who goes to church or the mosque, you can network there. It's more about how you present yourself and how asking the right questions, finding out, being interested in people and what they do and how they do it. And this might be something that can help you, uh, even to know how to find out how you can help people. The thing with networking is it's a give and take, and the more you give, the more people give back. So I would advise you that the first thing you need to figure out when you meet somebody is, how can I add value to the life of this somebody? How can what do I have that this person needs? And this is one of those things that I think networking is a long game. And I keep saying this, and people keep thinking that I'm joking. When you meet somebody, I mean, there are people that you're going to meet and it's just for that particular reason, but those tend to be short term relationships. But if you want to build a long term relationship, which might end up being even more beneficial than something which is short term, I know this sounds ridiculous to somebody who is looking for a job or who is broke, or you just need help now. You can't think about tomorrow, but weigh your options. Is it better to get this quick fix now or to work on a long term relationship? Now, if it's an opportunity and it's an opportunity that's going to disappear, for example, you have seen job adverts. It's a specific company which you're very interested in working for, and you happen to meet somebody who works in that company or in that HR of that company. Um, I think the best thing would be if you can, and this is the person that can help you. So the best thing would be, for example, you go there and you have already applied or you're considering applying, and you tell this person, okay, so here is what I have, and I have applied to this, and these are my qualifications. I have applied to this job, and or can I send you my CV to have a look at? But then also gauge the chemistry and gauge if this person looks fatigued by that question, because honestly, there are some people who are so drained from everybody wanting to get stuff from them, and the hi, can you help me with this approach kind of only works if you're already comfortable with someone. So I personally, I would let it go. I would mention that, oh God, I love the company you work for. I actually just applied for a vacancy there, and then leave it at that. If the person does not follow up, then just know that they are fatigued by being asked for that. But then keep the contact. If they do follow up, then you can dig deeper. But don't just go straight, and start. Sometimes, honestly, as somebody who is on the receiving end of the help me, help me, help me, help me, sometimes it's really, really hard. And everything is give and take. I have had people who we've made exchanges because I think maybe from applying too much, I've become really, really good at writing cover letters, and I have become also very good at customizing my CV for different positions. So I'm not trained in this, but it's something that I've done so many times, and I have a lot of. I mean, I'm not a professional. I cannot say I'm a professional, but I have done mine so many times that I actually know how to do it so well now. I think I need to just take a few classes, and then I'll be perfect at it. But I've actually experienced a lot of the, can you change this can you customize my CV for me, and can you do this for me, can you do this? It's been so much, to an extent that I felt totally drained at sometimes. I mean, physically, emotionally, I just couldn't. It was too hard sometimes. However, I still kept going, and yeah. So I mean, it was hard. It was tough. It's it's overwhelming sometimes, but you just have to be patient, because sometimes the long term relationship will end up giving you more, and I cannot say that enough. What you need to realize is that what the world is going through right now, a lot of people have lost their jobs, a lot of people are trying to change careers, a lot of people have rediscovered themselves, and most people are looking for something. So if you're always asking, and if you're always the one being asked, it reaches a point where you can't anymore. You just can't keep giving, giving. Honestly, it gets emotionally very, very, very tiring when you have to do that. The other thing that I would highly recommend, and I cannot recommend this enough, because honestly, it is one of those things that people seriously don't consider. I would highly recommend you be careful. I know that this has been said many times, and people think that, oh, I don't really care. But be careful how you interact with people on social media. Um, I do spend quite a lot of time on social media, a bit less since I started this channel. But sometimes I see some exchanges, and I'm thinking, I really hope this is a pseudo account, because why would you be saying things like this? And there was this case of a lady who said that someone was hitting on her, and she did not give the person the job because the person had been hitting on her. I personally found that that was uncalled for. The person was just hitting on her. He had not been disrespectful. But I have seen cases where someone applies for a job, and then you check the history of you, because people do go to social media to check, and you find they are the comments that they put out there, they're just not the kind of things that you would want your company to be associated with. And yes, I know I'm going to be told by many people, because people always say that I have a right to my freedom of opinion. I have a right to it's my personal life. What I do with my personal time does not involve the company. But you know what? It does. Why does it? Because nowadays, when you mess up, what happens is people go and start digging into your profile. Okay, so you will say something like that, and someone will take a screenshot, and all of a sudden ABC Limited, oh, they hire people who think this way. And because of one person, a company of 1,000 people is put on the spotlight, having to report to their clients, having to report to the board of governors, because somebody decided that they want to exercise their freedom of speech. I'm sorry, but some of these things, they come back to bite you. It's just a matter of that. And even the person that you I there are times that people have actually been just rude because I've said something and they don't agree with it, and instead of disagreeing in a respectful way, they just decide to be rude, start calling you names, and oh, you are just a bitter. I know, and I don't know why, but for example, in Kenyan groups, I think they always think that when they call you a prostitute or a lesbian, that's end of conversation. You are so insulted, you will not even answer back. So I get that quite a lot. And you keep, so I somebody writes that, and then you see another post where that same person who said something like that is like, oh, I'm looking for a job and I'm a graduate and I'm what, and you're in my at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what if I actually did have a job to give you? What would happen? Would I give you a job when you think that my thoughts are the thoughts of a prostitute and a lesbian? And according to you, because there's nothing wrong with being a sex worker, if you want to, if that's the career choice you have made, there's nothing wrong with it. If your morality is okay with it, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being a lesbian if that's who you are. But this person, when he's putting the comment in a derogatory way. He's basically implying that these are not good things. So if you have already decided that I'm not a good person, so why am I giving you a job? And sometimes you're missing out on these things, and in other times it's just the judgments. Honestly, I look at some comments and I'm thinking, why would I want to be associated with somebody like that? You just assume people are ABC. You can't assume that everybody is religious. You can't assume that everybody is traditional minded. You can't assume that everybody is heterosexual. Open up your mind to the idea that what you think is normal, not everybody thinks that is normal. So if you are a job hunter, some of these things, I'm not saying you don't have your beliefs. I'm not saying you don't have your principles, but I'm just saying that the more you put your principles out there and the stronger you are in saying what you think and what might be very controversial, the smaller you're making your network. Because I'm not saying that I want you to go and work in a brothel, but if because personally, I have no problem with commercial sex workers. I genuinely don't. I think it should be a business. It should be regulated. If somebody feels like that is what they need to do to make a living, let them be able to do it in a safe environment. I strongly believe that. However, so that doesn't mean that I want to go and work in a brothel or own a brothel. But I might know somebody who actually works in a brothel or who owns a brothel or has other businesses, and that person might know somebody else who's looking for a job. So if you've already alienated that person, and maybe I have a job that I'm offering, and the person will just not even consider you because you're not the kind of person who can work with an open-minded person. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, just I'm not saying, please do not think that I am saying you should, do not think that I am saying that you should ignore your morals. That is totally not what I'm saying. It should not be it. But, I mean, think about the consequences of it, Okay. Then the other thing, finally, just to finish up, what kind of circumstances can you create? Because sometimes if the networking events don't come, create networking events. So if you know somebody and you would like to meet somebody who they know, then I think you need to bring this person closer and, like secondhand information. So do a favor for Catherine so that Catherine can tell Jack about the favor that you did for her. And then Jack, because Jack is very good friends with Catherine and likes people who help Catherine, Jack would be able to connect you to Mary. And Mary is the person that you actually wanted to get to know. That is why LinkedIn and Facebook show you people you might know, because sometimes it's not the direct contact, sometimes it's the third hand person that you're trying to get to. And you can get to this third hand person by helping the first person, who is very insignificant most of the time, and then you, in our eyes, and then that insignificant person, the fact that you help this person shows someone else that you are the kind of person who is nice. And then that brings out your characteristics, because I'm not telling you to pretend, I'm telling you to do what comes naturally to you. If you're good at art and you're looking for a job in marketing, you help somebody who's doing a startup project or something like that, and that person talks about you. And by the way, this is another thing, give and take. If somebody helps you and you like their work, advertise. I always talk big about people I have worked with, because most of the time people actually do give me very good rates, and I want to make up for the rates that the loss that they made when they were giving me that good rate. So I do try to make sure that people who have helped me out make enough business to cover for the discount that they give me. However, some people don't do that, because then, oh, I don't want them to know where I buy my dresses, so I am not going to tell them because I don't want everybody looking like me. But then you're not considering the fact that this person gave you the discount because you work at a certain place. Many people will see you, and they will ask you, oh, where do you buy your clothes? And, so things like that. So, I think that is one of the things that I think that we should do. You just help somebody to help somebody to help somebody, so that whatever you need just comes back to you. I think that would be such an ideal thing to happen. Okay, so enough of my motherly, auntie advice today, and ready for me to start my day. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. Bye bye.